Everyone, Mr. Happy here, up bright and early because it's patch day. Patch 7.31 is today. That's the new Cosmic Planet, the new Relic Grind, changes to Deep Dungeon, and I'm not sure what else was planned. Those are at least the things we knew about before me reading these patch notes, but we're going to do a patch note overview, and there's something I already know that's in here, and I'm not looking forward to it. Not looking forward to it at all. I saw it in my Discord before I actually started reading this, so... Yeah. For those who need a reminder, the Yaqui, the new Deep Dungeon, Inconceivably Further Hildebrand, and Monster Hunter will all be in 7.35. Okay, let's get to it. The arrival coordinates when teleporting or returning to Bestways Burrows has been adjusted. That's probably to get you to the Cosmic Planet faster. Cosmic Exploration, new quests are going to Fianna, the next planet. You can only access and progress it through your home world, of course. Go forth, breathe adventurers, brightest star, manage. So yeah, these are just all the new quests. You know, nothing too surprising there. You know, we don't need to go over the pop culture references that some of those may be. Fandom weapons, keeping the old ways alive, ether everywhere, and wrought by hands phantasmal. Unfortunately, I know enough about the third quest that we'll get to it. You'll see. New items available for exchange for bicolored gemstones in Yaktel. Huh. I wonder what that is. In Yaktel? In Yaktel, that would be... Huh. I wonder what item that is. Is that a new music sheet? Might be. Okay. New furnishings have been added. Yeah, some cool looking stuff. Some more futuristic bus stoppy stuff and all that. New orchestrion rolls. New triple triad cards. A new emote has been added. Oh, yeah, is that the... Oh, no, that's just doing this. I was thinking because they do that when they're in the gold saucer. Actually, maybe it is. Because, oh, no, there's no new rewards other than the triple triad cards. Yeah, because I was going to say, that's how they, for some reason, that's how they throw the punch at the Gilgamesh machine. They hold one arm and they go. So, but I think he's just doing the classic. Yeah, you know. Okay, we knew Palace of the Dead was getting some adjustments from floor 100, from floors 1 to 50 in particular. I want to see what the changes overall are. They said it was aimed at making floors 1 to 50 easier because floors 1 to 50 are required for Pilgrim's Traverse, and they seem to understand how silly that is, so they're finally buffing it like crazy. The minimum ether pool gear strength enhancement from opening silver coffers has been increased from 1 to 5. That's insane. 1 silver chest is +5. Ether pool. Holy moly. That alone basically fixes everything from 1 to 50. If you're doing it solo, you'll decimate it. You still should probably know how to do it solo to, make sure that you're functional in there. But damn. Success rate of ether pool gear strength enhancement opening silver coffers before 101 has been increased. So it goes all the way to 100. The buffs are happening. And then enhancement from ether pool gear strength with defeating a boss has been increased from 1 to 10. Now that very specifically is from floor 50. Ether pool gear strength can only be equipped from certain level before, can only be enhanced up to a certain level. Oh yeah, I think it only goes up to 60 before floor 50, I think is the number. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's 60 before you go above floor 50. But yeah, so that's a little reminder for that one. Ether pool gear strength is now guaranteed. Yeah, before 51. Because I remember, now I'm thinking, sorry. Because in Palace of the Dead, we got floors 1 to 50. And, oh, you know what? I'm stupid. You know what it's doing? It's probably referring to the fact that ether pool has a cap by that level. Because originally for Palace of the Dead, floors 1 to 60, floors 1 to 50, the highest we could go was, well, no, that's not even true. The highest weapon. Damn, it's making me think about the Heavensward patches now. But either way, it's going to make 1 to 50 way easier, and that's the important thing. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it caps at like 60. Ether pool gear strength is now guaranteed to be enhanced upon defeating bosses on every boss floor. Okay, well then the statement I had earlier just doesn't even matter. And upon completing floor 200. Interesting. If you're not 99.99, then you really shouldn't be doing that. But you really shouldn't be going all the way to 200. But it is what it is. Defeated enemies will now drop. Oh my god, that's so good. So I've spoken with a lot of longtime Palace of the Dead players. They think sustaining potions need to be far more available early on. And this is exactly the kind of change. They said that generally sustaining potions are the biggest gatekeeping tool that Palace of the Dead and the deep dungeons in general have, because you need so many of them and they are not in any way guaranteed. So the fact that defeating enemies will now grant you sustaining potions, especially again that 1 to 50 solo that I made a video on for any player who's new, this basically invalidates the need for the entire video, because between the ether pool and the sustaining potion drops, any amount of sustaining potions, like 5 to 10 of them, is enough to do floors 1 to 50, even without these changes. So with these changes, super easy. It's interesting to me that these changes are only happening for Palace of the Dead. I guess it's because it is the gatekeeping deep dungeon, because you need to do it to unlock Heaven on High, Eureka Orthos, and the new Pilgrim's Traverse. But even still, that defeated enemies will now drop sustaining potions in particular, I think is one that makes sense in the other locations. I don't think it makes sense as much to need to gate those as much as they have, because a player who doesn't fundamentally understand how to progress deep dungeon will not get as far as a player who does, no matter how many sustaining potions they bring. So I really think they should think about that one for the other ones as well. New phantom weapon quests have been added, so moving on from the deep dungeon, players will be able to enhance the strength of their phantom weapons by completing these quests, keeping the old ways alive. Enhancing, yeah, I've seen this screenshot. That's the one I saw in my Discord. Upon completing the quest Wrought by Hands Phantasmal, players will receive 1 enhanced phantom weapon based on a job with which they progress through the quest. In the preceding quest, Ether Everywhere, players will receive an Ether Well array, which can be used to confirm progress during that stage of the enhancement weapon. So we need to fill all 4 different elemental, so instead of light, it's elemental array. So, we're filling the elements up to 10,000. And the quest will explain to us in-game, which, by the way, I'm recording this, the game's up an hour early. I woke up to seeing the notification that it'd be up 55 minutes early. But either way, we'll get to that. Here it is. Here it is. I already saw it in my Discord. I already knew what it said. The part I wasn't looking forward to. After completing Wrought by Hands Phantasmal, players may exchange Allegan Tomestones of Heliometry with Dodo Kuli in the Phantom Village to enhance additional Phantom weapon. Can I get an expansion where my tomes aren't being held hostage by a weapon quest for the entire expansion? Why can't you just let me fill additional Etherwell arrays or use tomestones? Why can't I just do both? Why can't you just have the options, more than one option? I still don't. I'm emailing Square Enix and being like, hey, I haven't done an interview with Yoshi P in a while. Do you mind if I ask him a few questions? And I'm asking about this whole Tomestone thing. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to find out, because I used to do email interviews occasionally. I'm going to be like, yo, listen, we got like 4 months till the next patch. When he's back from PAX West, I know he's got Tokyo Game Show. Can he take like 5 minutes to answer me a question about the damn relics? I just want to escape. My tomes have been held hostage for 2 expansions now by these weapons. It's probably 1,500. Like, let's be honest. It's probably the same vendor. This probably sells me 3 of new stone, and it's 500 each. It's 1,500. Anyway, I've beaten that topic home a billion times. Class and job specific quests. Phantom weapon quests employ a system which will require players to proceed using... That's the normal. Like, if you start the weapon quest as one class, you have to stay on it for the actual, like, quest advancement, but you don't need to stay on it to actually do the step. So I hate that they even include this, because this actually makes people think you need to be on the job the whole time. You just can't, like, start on a job and then swap to doing a different job. So, but you can, like, swap to the job while you're doing the activities, just not for the actual, like, quest text. Okay, PvP, few adjustments been made. Purify, MP cost reduced. Yeah, with the Purify changes, with the Recuperate changes, this was probably bound to happen. Purify and Recuperate, yeah, because the MP it just goes so fast now. It goes even faster than before. Dark Knight, Salted Earth, got its heal over time potency buffed. Okay. Salt and Darkness Salt and Darkness getting a pretty significant buff overall. Even this little delay bit. Whenever I see things like this, I'm like, there's probably some PvE skills I could use a change similar to that. Monk getting a bunch of potency buffs across the board. Phantom Rush, yeah, wow, Monk is getting a big buff, like just buffs on tons of potencies. AoE fall off being taken away. Earth's Reply being buffed up for both its potency and its healing potency. Jer's Kogel getting a small nerf from the Life of the Dragon. So damage suffered caused by Life of the Dragon has been reduced. Damage suffered. Wait, okay, I don't remember how they changed the jobs. I haven't looked into it much for Dawn Trail from 7.1 onward. I only remember what Viper and Picto play like because I didn't do much. So I feel like I'm missing something here. This damage suffered would imply the Dragoon is taking it, in which case, yeah, this should absolutely be changed. Forked Raiju. Fleeting Raiju effect duration has been reduced from 10 to 5 seconds. Mechio duration has been reduced from 3 to 2 seconds. Yeah, they're just making it so you actually have to keep to these windows a little bit tighter. Amount of damage dealt absorbed as HP has been reduced. Oh my god, it was 100. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was ridiculous. I remember Backlash being ridiculous before. So yeah, 100 to a 50% makes sense. Bard. MP reduction from 5,000. Okay, yeah, that's in line with Recuperate and Purify. It was meant to basically get rid of 2 casts, and they changed the cost of those, so that makes sense. That nerf makes a lot of sense. Machinist, max HP increase. Scattergun potency increase. Dancer, potency increases across the board. Black Mage getting one of its amount of HP absorbed has been reduced, so it's getting its shield reduced, and damage taken from Wreath of Ice, only 20%. Seems like they're getting rid of some defensives and then buffing Monk and Dancer a whole bunch. Summoner getting a small buff. Picto getting an HP nerf, which I guess it can't surprise me too much. And then Smudge getting its recast nerf, so they can't smudge as often. White Mage, also, this is interesting, because this used to be 1 cast, now it's half a cast that it's reducing the MP by. So I feel like we'll probably see this reverted to at least be 2,000 instead of 2,500 at some point. Flatus, Purgation, damage reduced by 4,000. Scholar's max HP being brought down. Astro no longer reduces healing potency of nearby enemies, so that was apparently considered too difficult, especially because now MP, again, recuperates just aren't as frequent, so I can see why they're getting rid of that. Sage, Phlegma has had its damage increased, and Psyche for the ranged version. See, that's the thing. I didn't even know Psyche had a bonus for enemies further away, but I do now. So now it's 8,000. New items have been added. These are from the Cosmic Planet. Got your Space Captain suits. New recipes have been added. When using an item registered to a hotbar, the icon will now appear grayed out if the target is out of range. Here's Fianna, our new planet. Very curious to see how they'll change it, because they said there was a lot of feedback they had to take into account for Fianna to motivate people to do things other than work on their cosmic weapon, their cosmic relic. So I'm curious to see what that will culminate into once the servers are up already, but once I get into the servers. Upon unlocking Fianna, players may travel to the star using Best Way Burrow's Aetheryte, speaking with Driving Way, or by speaking with Cruising Way. So there's a lot of ways to get in. And selecting Fianna as the destination. I like the destination screen. Fianna credits, yep, have their own credits. I figured they would use a different currency. These credits going to be exchanged for Mech Op pilot applications while on the star, or used to draw cosmic fortunes. They're the same as the other ones. Fianna exploration tokens can be exchanged for a special amount. These tokens are always rewarded upon the completion of EX plus stellar missions. Both the tokens themselves and the amount available for exchange can be sold via the market board. Probably the hoverboard for that. And I see that they're trying to get people to want to grind EX Plus missions are awarded upon the complete. Okay, yeah, I was going to say, I wonder if that was like, there's a chance of getting them elsewhere. The question is, will that be the only way to get the hoverboard, or will they like throw it in Cosmic? And then will this be another situation like with the Shark, where the Shark was technically a Sanguinite drop, but there was no reason you would ever spend 99 Sanguinite on it because it drops so frequently from the treasure chests? Will this have like something similar where it's from Cosmic and there's like no reason anyone would do it? Listen, I'm saying we've had this happen. Hopefully they've learned their lesson on that front. But I'm a little motivated to get my crafting and gathering stuff up to do Fianna exploration tokens. Okay. Stellar success, daily successes. Lunar credits earned via daily successes will be converted to Fianna credits. Please note that daily success points can also be accrued in Sinus Adora. Standard successes. Fianna has been added as a separate category, and the stellar successes window will now display standard successes corresponding to the star with which you currently reside. Players may check the progress. Yeah, so there's different cosmic fortunes and stellar successes and everything for each of the separate planets. The Star Ward standings, this is the new tally thing. Commendations, star contributors will be honored for 14 days. Yeah, this works pretty much all the same way right here. Tallying for Star Wars standings has been changed. It will now be based on player contribution from stellar missions, mech ops, and projects undertaken. So I wonder how heavy the mech ops are weighed, but effectively they don't want people working on the Star Wars standing to not participate in everything else in order to get more points. So that makes sense. I mean, it's honestly, it should just be everything you're doing. So it makes sense that they would just change it to be to everything you're doing. Select every 14 days. Okay, that's largely the same. Infrastructure index will now open automatically upon project completion. Good. Cosmic tools can now be further enhanced. Players will obtain research data. So the research data thing seems to be largely the same. You don't need to have the prototypes equipped in order to accrue research data, so it's the same as before. Can confirm required research via cosmic research. This seems like it's all largely the same, just on a new planet for specifically enhancing the cosmic tools. We are getting that as a mount. So we have the hoverboard and we have the plow as mounts. People really wanted the plow mount, so I'm glad to see it making its appearance. And then, of course, the hoverboard was the main thing, I think, drawing people in. But I know a lot of people who wanted that. A new minion. Yeah, we have. I like how we have the original mount. We have the recolored mount. And now we have the minion. Where's the recolored minion for 500,000 points? Smile. New faceware. So you got a couple of different eye patch looking things. One obviously from Cosmic. This I guess they're both probably from Cosmic. System. In order to reduce server congestion, there will be multiple field instances on Fianna. Not surprising. Division. So the other multiple instances have all been removed. New achievements, new titles, new trophies, new achievements for Xbox, new music, sound effects. Resolved issues within the radius. Certain boss attacks differed from the intended range. Interesting. Issue with the shifting altars of Uznair. Yeah, okay, we're probably not going to take the time. The known issues is more important. An issue with Cosmic Exploration mech ops when changing class after submitting a pilot application, wherein players who switch their primary tool directed via the methods listed below are unable to subsequently change class or participate. Okay, so this one's really important. What I'm getting from it, don't change your class after accepting a mech op. So, because apparently selecting and switching their primary tool via the character window or armory chest may just refrain from you being able to do the mech ops. So just don't change classes when you're doing mech ops. That's actually really important to know. Refraining from changing classes, yeah, just do this pretty much. Refraining from changing classes between submitting a pilot application, beginning the mech op, changing class by swapping gear sets. Wait, this is interesting. I thought that this was going to say this helps, but it almost makes it seem like all right, I'm just not going to do that. I'm just not going to change class at any point. An issue with the quest Go Forth Brave Explorers, where quest icons do not display on the map. Same with keeping the old ways alive outside of the Phantom Village. Issue with speaking with Scanning Way during cosmic exploration, wherein, under certain conditions, dialogue indicating that the player has not made any contributions is erroneously displayed, despite the player having contributed. It's a text-only issue. Good. Issue with the fishing stellar missions during cosmic exploration, wherein the explanation for certain critical missions is not accessible due to cosmic exploration progress erroneously states data unavailable for incomplete missions. That's annoying. An issue within cosmic exploration, wherein the completing a project while in cutscene in which players receive a cosmic tool is playing causes the cutscene to display incorrectly and the environment to appear unchanged for the affected player despite having completed it. This issue can be resolved by changing areas or logging out and back in. Simple. An issue with cosmic exploration mech op directive shatter glass clusters, wherein the delivery range for certain field scanners is incorrect. Players encountering difficulties as a result may need to move closer to an affected field scanner. So just move closer. Don't try to cut it wide. An issue in undertaking certain mech ops on Fianna, wherein players can clip through terrain while traveling to the mission site as a pilot. Interesting. An issue in a group pose portrait, wherein animations and weather effects do not display correctly when completing a cosmic exploration project, and while glass rain is active. I hate the name of the weather, glass rain. Like, I get it. Like, it's part of it, but still, it's probably the emergency one. An issue when players are unable to mute characters while undertaking a duty. Okay, that sucks in particular, that last one. But yeah, that's pretty much what we expected for 0.31. A few little surprises. I hate to see TOMES returning as the get all your relics after the first one thing. But, I mean, I called it. It's like I shouldn't be surprised. I'm upset that I was correct. Let's just put it that way. It seemed like it was the inevitability. But, like, I've said the point a million times. I just want more options. TOMES are great. Use them. Have them as an option. We want more than one option. For the love of God, please. But anyway, I got a server to get into to start working on my relic. So that's gonna be a wrap for this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and stay tuned. I'll have first impressions on the relic grind itself, as well as the new planet for cosmic exploration and how they manage to actually structure their rewards, their missions, etc., etc. But that's gonna be a wrap. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next video, and until then, take care.